episode off, though, right? You know. Happy Sunday.
Oh,
Uncle Nearest, 1856. You know about Uncle Nearest?
I don't know. I know Uncle Ruckus.
He's the guy who taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey.
You know what's hilarious about this? If TJ was here, he would regale us with that entire story. He loves telling us.
I'm sure he would. But this is 100 proof, so definitely
give me
going to the
fucking
hospital. Definitely going to the hospital. You said you wanted to show me something. I'm dying to hear what this.
Oh no, that was for later after the show.
Oh, after the show.
No. So there's a couple things that I wanted to go over, but no, one thing that I wanted to start doing the beginning of the episodes is like a weekly recap, because in the world that we're living in, every week there's just some shit popping off.
It's like we're back in 2020. Bro.
Yeah, dude, it's like something happened that no one could have predicted is going on.
Yeah.
And there's a couple ones. So first is the Ariana Grande situation, if you guys have heard about that.
I have not heard about Ariana Grande. I didn't know she was still doing shit.
So Ariana Grande has a new boyfriend who was a married man with a kid. They're doing like a show, like a Broadway show or something somewhere. And she knew that this guy was married and just had a baby, like under a year. And
I think he's trying to cheers us.
I wasn't.
Okay.
Under a year, she met the wife, she met the baby, everything, held the baby. And then fast forward a couple weeks, she's sleeping with this guy. He ends up leaving his wife and is talking about we're going to co-parent, and he just straight up just left her for Ariana Grande.
Okay.
And this is why I have to shout out women, because they are dragging Ariana Grande for this behavior.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not even going to. They doing a pretty good enough job at dragging this hoe, because that's kind of crazy. And this is not the first time that she does shit like this. As we know, she's a very toxic person.
Do you remember when they were saying she killed Mac Miller?
Yeah, well, like
that was crazy.
That's actually kind of fucking scary.
Yeah. But they are dragging her, and I was like, I'm here for it.
A woman with the voice of Mariah Carey just killing niggas and destroying homes. Bruh.
It's like a siren. Like
pussy has to be water. It has to be straight water.
So that's why I was just wanted to bring that up, because I thought that shit was hilarious. But here's the problem.
Okay.
Not with her. I think women are covering that pretty well, because they're like, there's a bunch of videos that I've seen where they're dragging her, they're talking about her, making jokes about her, right? But the ones that no one, like women aren't really making fun of, is the whole Lizzo situation.
Oh.
And it's because they're responsible for this.
Oh my God.
So Lizzo is being sued by backup dancers. There's like 3 or 4 of them that came out saying that she was creating like a toxic work environment.
Hostile.
Yeah. Called most of them fat shaming them, right? Yes. And I think it's fucking hilarious because here's why I blame women. Because you guys have built this lady up so much and told her, hey, you're perfect, you're peak body figure, you're beautiful, and that shit went to her head, and now she's like, look at all these fat bitches that wish they looked like me.
Like, are you fucking? She's lost her fucking mind.
Straight up Delulu.
Yeah. Perception of reality has been distorted.
All because these women are hyping her up and not telling her the truth. And now she's believing it so much that she's fat shaming other people.
What's wild is she was like on camera a while ago, like crying about how they're fat phobic and racist towards her, and here you are making people eat cucumbers out of assholes and shit. Like,
wait, hold on, huh?
Yeah, bro, she's doing some wild shit. When you get time, you should look into some of these stories. I don't even know if we could talk about all of them.
Hey, it's Lizzo.
Yeah, she's like
that's what she sings about.
Yeah. You've never heard a song of hers? I think she said, "I'm 100% that bitch that makes you eat cucumbers out of assholes." I think was the lyrics.
That's nuts.
Yeah. She's the first fat vegan.
Okay. Okay.
Nah, that whole Lizzo shit is a slap in the face, I think, for everybody across the whole like loud and proud and wrong situation. Because how the fuck do you turn this woman into a champion the whole time she's exactly what you're fighting against?
Yeah.
And now you're in a catch-22 where it's like, okay, the bitch was shaking her ass at the Lakers game in a thong. Number one, y'all voted for her to be, like, what do I want to like amnestied essentially. Like you want to give her a pass, and now you find out she's doing even worse shit than that. She's like out here talking about the same people that you supposedly want all of these rights and protections for. She's just a fucking hypocrite.
Dude, I mean, that's what happens when you just like give somebody that false confidence. They don't have like she can I guess make music, but
she's phenomenal.
But they're not hyping her up for that.
No.
They're saying, "Oh, you're gorgeous. Your body figure is peak," and now she's just like, "Yes, yes." And I think she just lays in bed like, "I am what every woman wants to be."
The ultimate life form.
The ultimate life form.
So that's what I have to say. Women, you guys can sit back now. You created this situation. The guys are going to take care of it. We'll put Lizzo back to where she belongs. All right. You guys can take care of Ariana Grande. You guys are doing a good job with that. We'll take care of Lizzo.
The thing I don't understand about the Ariana Grande situation is they were quiet when Alicia Keys took Swiss Beats from his wife, right? They were.
I'd be quiet too. She can take me from my girl.
Oh, of course, you hoe.
Glad as a hoe.
Alicia Keys is Alicia Keys.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I guess Ariana Grande has like a pattern of behavior.
She has a very much pattern, yeah.
Yeah, that makes it worse.
I don't know any of this stuff.
Well, you learn something new every day.
I guess, yeah. I've learned 3 new things.
George is like the black dude from the Reading Rainbow. He's like here to educate.
And then after that, you heard about the Kai Cenat situation in New York.
Yo, that actually is wild as fuck.
Mad, bro. Insane.
It's actually wild as fuck. And somebody made a crazy ass comparison. It's like Donald Trump.
I've been seeing that.
Yeah, had a whole speech, incited a riot at the Capitol. Nothing's supposed to happen to him.
Yeah.
My man's giving out PS5s, and y'all taking him to fucking jail.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I don't understand that one.
I saw this John that was like, there was like pictures of the kids rioting, and it starts off with Kai Cenat to say like it's like they're voicing for him right in the picture, and he's like, guys, meet me in New York, Union Square, giving away PlayStation 5s, and then just cut to the riots. It was like, I think Kai Cenat wants us to destroy cars. And it's like, that's not what I want. It was like, wait. Maybe we should start hitting each other. No, that's not what I want. It's like, I don't know where they just decided to start doing what they did.
Yeah, what was it like? What was the fighting about?
It's just New York,
trying to get the PS5.
I don't even think it was about that anymore. I think New York kids was like saw that as an opportunity to start doing New York kid shit in the name of Kai Cenat and all the rest of the squad.
Or, hear me out.
Oh boy,
We had a government plant
here we go.
in the middle of the riot, doing the same shit they did during COVID.
They left bricks?
Left bricks on the corner, knocked some fucking windows out, let everybody run in, steal Gucci and whatever the fuck.
They opened the Targets up?
Yeah. You don't think that's possible?
For Kai Cenat, yeah, definitely. I agree with you 100%.
You're a fucking liar.
No, I think you're making some pretty strong arguments.
I made one argument.
It's a strong argument.
Okay, so can that be our segue here into talking about they cloned Tyrone?
Yeah, just the.
Did you get to watch that, Glenn?
I did, but help me out with the segue.
So sure. So we're talking about government plants, right? And how essentially they use this as an opportunity to.
Now that's a top tier podcast segue.
Listen, bro. This is what I do. This is what I do, bruv. Okay.
Okay. And you lost me.
Yeah, I gotta stop watching these British fucking YouTube shows.
Why are you doing that? Is
I
it
don't know.
torture? Or
Yeah,
something?
kind of, sort of. But so Kai is kind of like this big popular YouTuber, right?
Twitch.
What the fuck ever. It's all the same shit. Oh wait, I'm thinking about the other guy. Actually,
Speed?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. They all look alike. That's what they say.
That's what they
That's
say.
what they say.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's crazy to me to think that the government can't be involved in any and everything. Like they've been experimenting on people since fucking the dawn of humanity. They're like, oh, let's see if take over this guy. You know, maybe they send him to jail, cut him some kind of deal or something. And hey, listen, you know, we want to get you out of here. This is a big misunderstanding. Just work with us a little bit, and you know, when we need you, we'll tap you.
And what's the goal in that?
I don't know if there ever
Influence,
really is one.
right? Like if the guy has millions of people, he can get a whole fucking city to come out for PlayStation 5s. Maybe he can talk them into taking vaccines later on.
Oh shit, Larry.
Damn.
I think you're onto something here.
It's a wild fucking jump.
Listen, Brad, I've been watching nothing but conspiracy theory shit lately.
My man is working hard.
Yeah.
I'm say his algorithm is nuts.
I'm on Reddit next.
It was nice knowing you, man. We about to not hear from him for weeks.
Yo, he's going on a watch list.
And then out of nowhere, he's coming back a completely different Larry.
Hair shade.
Yeah, right. Like, hey guys, actually, I don't want to talk about any of this. Can we talk about something else?
So before we start talking about what I want to talk, can you guys put your phones out of the room, please? I've had somebody tell me that before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Ooh, who the fuck said that?
Alex.
Oh.
He was about to tell me something about something that we're not supposed to know.
Okay.
And he was like,
but he knows.
But he knows. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because it was on the internet. So he asked me to remove my phone from the room in order to inform me about it. And I said, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You're bringing me to a dark place.
I don't know.
I hated that period so much.
I mean, but is it over?
Nah, I think it's even stronger, to be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what's funny about the conspiracy theory, the theory stuff, is it would probably end the same way that it ends in They Cloned Tyrone. It would,
for sure.
Because I think what people need to understand is we're dumb as shit. I don't know why they think.
Yeah.
I don't know why they think that this can exist on a global scale. Like there's like an Illuminati type thing. I have no idea how you can think that when we got this shit going on here.
That's a good
States
point.
can't even get their shit together.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, see, here's what I think, right? And then they kind of like, I guess, touched on it slightly in the show, or the movie rather, is like, you know, we have the government, which kind of oversees us, the employees. So we got the idiots, us, the idiots leader.
why did I just nod my head so willingly?
The idiot's us. Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm an idiot.
Inclusion.
Yeah, so they got the idiots handler who are still idiots essentially. But they have power, so they feel like, oh, you know, we're doing something, and now they're fucking cloning people and trying to see what happens. But they don't even really understand like the end game, like you were talking about, right? So I kind of like when I saw that show, I was like, okay, I want to see where they're going with this, and I think they could have done a way better job of making it. Even more like conspiratorial, if that's a word. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job, Larry.
Yeah. Fuck out of here. You're never gonna get a dap from me, pussy.
I'm going to dap that pussy.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
All right. Welcome to the Mancave Party.
But nah, because I think I think they touched on a lot of things that the black community has to deal with. But as a whole, like everybody across the country has some shit that they're dealing with in their own little nucleus neighborhood. And, you know, they could have expanded on it and still talked about like the black struggles. But I'm curious to know what you thought about the movie, since how you hate black people.
Yeah, so I hated the movie because it was, I'm like, come on, take a little bit of accountability, guys. All right.
I mean, didn't he? Didn't he?
No, I actually really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I thought it was decent.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know what the fuck the movie was about. I saw like a quick clip. I saw, Jamie Foxx. All right, I'll watch this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, as the movie progressed, I was like, I'm fucking with this more and more, because it's like unraveling a mystery, right?
Yeah.
And then just seeing the bull die, and then you're like,
The bull. You talking about Boyega?
yeah, Boyega.
That was low hanging fruit.
Yeah, I know. And as soon as I said it, I was like,
But I liked it a lot. But as soon as I was watching, I was like, I got to tell Larry to watch this movie, because I was like, I would like to talk about it, because it's definitely like It's a nice theory. It's a pretty cool theory, I think, right? The idea that there's so many fucked up communities within the country and those people are incapable of bettering themselves because they're being purposely held down by a higher power through manipulation and just science that we don't even know exists, right? And I was like, I really fuck with that idea. And even the clone understanding he's a clone and thinking that he can't be better than this, and then shortly falling back into the cycle, right? That even when you're aware of the bad that's going on or who's manipulating you, it's easier to just go back into that cycle rather than break it.
Yeah.
But obviously there was a breaking point in the movie where he was like, I'm not fucking doing this anymore. This whole system needs to come down. But then, they do what they did in that situation. They brought it down. And then you move to the end of the movie and you're like, oh, this is happening fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that wasn't even a thought while I was watching it, that it was like, oh, LA's going on. Philly might be, Chicago, whatever. Detroit,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So like that kind of ending.
Really happy to name Detroit.
I've been shitting on Detroit all week.
Hilarious.
So that's why I really enjoyed that movie, because of that whole idea behind it.
Yeah. So you didn't think like, oh, this is just one more fucking woke bullshit movie?
Part of me was thinking about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was like, it obviously is a whole black cast, right? And then
Not all.
well, majority of it, right? And then they even threw the fried chicken situation in there, which I was like,
That
crazy.
shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious.
I was like, this is
fucking
something.
chicken. That shit had me
Threw it on
dying.
the floor.
If the best way to get like, I guess poison is how we'll call it, to the black community is through chicken. If it wasn't chicken, it'd be what?
Shut the fuck up.
No, just
I'm
take a
not.
guess.
No, I'm not. They got it.
Like
they
a
got
seafood boil, right?
Yo, it was crazy it was crazy as they're popping up all over Philly right now.
Are they
the
really?
seafood boils? It's like Cajun seafood boil or some shit.
Keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes open.
Is it
Stay,
good, or
stay
is it
sharp.
some
Go
DoorDash
try it.
bullshit?
Tell us.
See, now you sending them into the lion's den over there.
A little sprinkle back there for you. Go
Hey
ahead.
man, I'm probably a clone. No, I'm definitely not a clone. No,
You might be.
no, nobody gets my name right. I can't be a clone.
What'd you think of the movie? I'm curious.
I
As
thought
the
it was great.
encyclopedia of the
All
group.
right. I
Just
thought it was
use
great.
words none of us know.
Look, you put him on the
Getting
spot.
put on the spot is kind of crazy. The way that they excoriated and that they castigated Jamie Foxx's character was. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what the fuck that
I'm
was.
sorry. I'm sorry. All right, but yeah, I thought the movie was good. I thought the ending, it could have used a little more, but I understand what it was attempting to do, and it kind of felt like a spiritual successor to Get Out, like, but a much better spiritual successor.
You got to explain.
Have you seen Us?
Actually, I haven't.
That's
Don't
surprising.
Don't ever.
like
It's
everybody saw that.
really not a good movie.
Like terrible, like
It's
trash.
like the concept. I think that's Jordan Peele's problem.
Okay.
Is conceptually he's great. Like on paper, once you're getting to the reveal, everything is wonderful. But he's kind of like the new M. Night in a way, where like once you kind of get to the landing, it's like
Where the setup is way more fun than the reveal.
yeah. If anything,
It happened the same with
yeah. Nope.
Nope, right?
I
Like,
enjoyed Nope actually.
I did too, actually.
but I thought that the setup was a lot better than the reveal.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like
It was
you're on the edge of your
underwhelming.
seat, right? And
Yeah.
you're just it pulls you in all the way, right? And you're just really invested into it.
And
And
you're
so
like,
it
"That's it?"
happens, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
If anything,
And Us was mad predictable. Like people want to. I feel like people are saying that it wasn't, but if you're an avid moviegoer,
You saw it.
you
coming.
can see through it very quickly.
they cloned Tyrone is Us. It's literally the same movie.
Well, I didn't see
just
us, so
less
help
potential.
me, help me
So
understand.
it's basically a situation by which a lady. Well, I don't really remember it like that, but essentially there is an underground facility where you can only generally access through these random ass access points, clandestine access points, and it's like they mimic everything that their doppelganger does above ground. But where the movie falls apart is it doesn't look like there's enough underground to match above ground.
Okay.
But seemingly every single body, every person's doppelganger is down there. So it's kind of the same thing. It's just it's not as many clones, and you find out that the main character was the actual doppelganger the whole time. So it's kind of the same movie, but like not at the same time. It doesn't necessarily go deep into like the ills of maybe the black community and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and trying to overcome it like They Clone Tyrone did, but it's still kind of the same movie.
So when I saw They Clone Tyrone, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, this is a bunch of shit that I already kind of like thought about. Like the church, I feel like, and people are going to crucify me, no pun intended, for saying this.
That was good though.
I feel like in the black community, they rely so much on church that they forget to do for themselves. And I feel like it might not just be even the black community. I feel like maybe it's like a global thing where it's like you put so much faith in this powerful being that you're thinking if you don't have to really do anything, it'll just change your circumstances.
Yeah.
And so you're just sitting around, you're going consistently, you're tithing or giving money when really you should be investing it or saving it towards something, all for the church just to benefit and grow larger and reach more people and continue the same cycle. Whereas like if these same people that were in this church were pulling their money together, they could each buy property, for 2 or 3 people once a year, as opposed to creating these fucking mega churches, which do what? Nothing. They don't do anything.
Maybe you should go to the local Baptist and try to get some converts.
Listen, these preachers be gangsters, bro.
Oh shit! Yeah, maybe you're right.
The pastor from my old church tricked the board into signing over the church like deed to him, and sold the fucking church to developers, and cashed in and got millions of dollars.
I believe it. It's a business. Church is a business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's super profitable.
And it's a manipulative business because you're feeding off of fear. You're feeding off of hope, right? People looking for a higher power.
Yep. For a way
loneliness,
out. Yeah.
right? And they're looking to be saved. And those people on the front end, on the tippity top, are looking at seeing it as a financial gain.
Getting baptized is literally called like being saved.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
That's always been my biggest issue with religion, but I feel like we can save a lot of religious talk for another conversation that I actually want to get into in another episode. But you hit me up with this movie talking about, is wokeism ruining like movies and shows?
Yeah.
What was your thought behind that?
Well, because I know how much you hate black people, so I was like,
You gonna keep saying that, motherfuckers gonna start believing that shit.
good. Rise up and
I'm gonna get jumped on
and
my
overthrow the oppressor that is George Mendez.
The Puerto Rican from North Philly, born and raised in K&A, the oppressor.
Holy shit!
No, but I remember a time where like black movies had messages, even though they were fucked up. So I don't feel like it's this new thing to have corporations or movies putting messages into these movies and shows and like maybe it's different now because a lot of it's geared to more like towards women empowerment and gay and LGBTQ plus rights.
Yeah.
So it feels a little like what the fuck are we doing here? But I was just thinking like, does George see these kind of things the same way that I do? Like I had no problem with the message behind the They Clone Tyrone shit.
Yeah, I think my issue is if you can't separate the idea of it being a movie and you start feeding into the theory being reality. That's where I think you guys something like you got to remove yourself from that, right? If you're sitting there and you watch that movie not as a movie but as a fucking documentary, and you're like, this shit actually happens. I knew this shit was happening. They planted this movie in here to throw us off, right? As smoke and mirrors, but this is real. That's when I'm like, no.
Okay, so can we stay right there? Because the question that I want to ask in regards to this is, what is your definition of woke?
That's a great question, actually, and I should have asked that in the beginning. My definition of woke is essentially like being aware of sort of like broader issues and even like being aware of more specific things that get overlooked, like gay people not having representation in movies or women being treated as second-class citizens in comparison to men. Like, that's what I think of when I think of woke. But I also know that this was a word that's been around for decades.
This is where I'm getting at. What he just described is what woke used to be, which is, Rocky Fuel doesn't melt steel beams type shit. Stay woke type shit. Like, it used to literally mean an actual conspiracy theory that you were trying to, y'all in the Matrix, y'all sleep. Like, that's what it used to mean. And for some reason, I don't know how there was a polarity switch where it now means shit that's actually happening, like that we can all see and quantify, but just one side just doesn't want to believe it. Like, I don't know how talking about, like, if a movie is talking about gay rights or if there's a gay character in it, it's woke. No, gay people aren't a conspiracy. They fucking exist.
I think the problem with a lot of movies that try to, and here's how I'll use it as woke, is when you try to build up a certain character who has a background, whether it's an LGBTQ character or a woman, and the only way they know how to do it is by shitting on anybody that isn't them. Right?
Yeah.
That's when you're doing woke wrong.
Yeah.
You're representing this person to be better than everybody else and not in an equal state.
Right.
That's when, like we talked about She-Hulk, right? When we had the conversation in a previous episode where it was no longer that she's as strong as the Hulk. Like, that wasn't the conversation. The only way that they can represent her as a woman is that she's better than the Hulk because she's a woman.
And they wanted to portray that women are better than men.
Exactly. Not that equal. And that's when the problem of being woke and forcing that into a movie or a show becomes the problem.
Yeah.
You're completely incapable of building one and the other, having both of them be equals. The only way you can build one is if you dilute or bring down the value of the other. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's when... Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
This kind of brings me to the next thing. It's kind of like, how much of that is us projecting?
I want to know what you mean by that.
So, for example, which is interesting that we're talking about they clone Tyrone. I don't know if y'all saw, and it's interesting that we talked about the news of celebrities, because Jamie Foxx was involved in some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. He posted something about they killed Jesus. What makes you think that they won't do that to you?
What was he trying to say by saying that? They killed Jesus. What makes you think they won't?
So the full thing was he said all that about they killed Jesus. What makes you think they won't do that to you? Fake friends, fake love. So all the context is there. Even if you didn't have, the full context, it's Jamie fucking Foxx, number one.
Yeah.
And is that his legal middle name?
Jamie fucking Foxx.
Cool.
Yeah.
FF.
Yes. And he had to apologize for being anti-Semitic.
For that statement?
Oh, because they're blaming Jewish people
for killing Jesus.
Yeah. Which didn't that...
It's not what he was saying, but it's
right.
It's
if you have two
historical.
brain cells to rub together,
Yeah.
you know that that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about Jesus was literally betrayed.
Yeah.
So, fake friends, fake love. Is he saying that all Jews, like, where are people getting the... So that is what I see as the danger of, this movement where we're attempting to cancel people. But I think if we're talking about things like that's a projection. You're projecting that he's being anti-Semitic for some goofy ass reason. So my question is, when we look at things like Captain Marvel or She-Hulk, in my opinion, I don't give a fuck. Like, seeing Captain Marvel say, "Oh, I'm better," I don't give a fuck.
Right.
You're better than me. You can fly. That's cool. I can't. I don't really give a fuck. Like, so it's a situation by which, how much of that is men projecting, and why do we not realize that is antithetical to the image that we're attempting to portray, where we're not these emotional, goofy-ass creatures that get mad at everything, but at the same time, we don't want women to complain, but we're complaining. So it's this weird dissonance that I see that we have that makes me mad when we call things woke that really aren't woke. It's just niggas. I think we're projecting.
See, no, the way that I would kind of rebuttal against that is it really does rely on the show or the movie and how it's structured, right? If I'm going to use Barbie as an example, it's out right now, it's popular, right? I know neither of you have seen it, but when we talk about Barbie and how they essentially did make Ken, like I said, look like a doofus, you know what I mean, like a loser type vibes. They were downplaying the role of man, right, while simultaneously putting women up here, right? Now that was the goal of the movie, because then it showed the error of Barbie and how she treated Ken. Now I have my issues in the end because they didn't there was no resolution. Things kind of just went back to normal. The only real thing that I saw was on Ken's part, where they were kind of saying that Ken was in it, like he was trying to force his identity to be attached to Barbie's, right? And he was unable to create his own identity outside of the relationship, and that's the issue with like a man or a toxic guy that's like only wants to be with his girl, and that the relationship defines them as a person, and not being able to be know who you are outside of that, right? And that's when I was like, okay, so the structure of that movie, right, in the beginning shows Ken to be this like simp, right? By the end of the movie, it puts him in a position to kind of be on his own and learn who he is as a person and create his own identity, right? So you can have your issues with it and be like, and project, as you were saying, but the way that the film ended didn't keep it in the same place for that character. So if there's some kind of character like development within the movie or the show that allows those people to grow, whether they're not the main character, but you took your time to grow, allow them to move up forward, then that's a decent way of doing it.
Did you ever see Boys in the Hood?
Pieces, I've never seen the whole thing.
Okay. Did you ever see it? All right. So Ice Cube, Cuba Gooding Jr., Lawrence Fishburne, phenomenal movie. Talks about poverty and police brutality and gang violence in LA, which are all obviously real issues. And they're essentially using the movie to call attention to these things. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess by your logic, like that would also be considered a woke movie. Am I wrong? Like they're using the movie to talk about sort of like a,
see, and that's what I'm
specific
saying.
issues.
Like that's where I get where things become a bit dangerous. Like if a white person was to see They Clone Tyrone and they were to project, oh, you hate white people because we don't really do this, yeah. It's like, nigga, it's a movie. One, it's a movie.
Right.
Two, it's a play on things that everything is a play. We think there's literally people that think that Gucci is a clone. Do you know
Gucci Mane? Okay.
Yeah, there's people that think that Gucci Mane is a clone. He came out of prison. My man was skinny. Apparently, he's just never allowed to lose weight. He doesn't have a metabolism. So it's just we are the people that created the woke. We are the people that created the idea of being asleep. And if you're not hip to the conspiracy, you're asleep. You're not woke. So it's like I don't see Boys in the Hood as a woke movie. I don't see Barbie as a woke movie because it's one, Barbie was created to perpetuate a beauty standard for white women only.
Right.
Until they made the Black Barbie. So it's like which is interesting that it came out around the time that Oppenheimer came out because they were around the same time. If I'm telling the truth. I'm not sure.
But the creation of
the creation of Barbie.
Okay.
Like the idea of Barbie. There's literally people that go out to look like Barbie. Like not the crazy surgery people, but just people that want to be the super slim body, blonde hair shorty. Yeah. And that's a problem that plagues us to this day. Like where people just have this really horrible self-esteem. And I don't necessarily see if anything, Ken should be lauded for his development. If he's the only one that developed, he should be lauded for his development.
Right.
especially if he was toxic.
See, I guess here's where I see kind of like the difference in the two. Barbie, essentially, the entire film sounds like the dialogue and everything was geared towards what you're talking about, putting women above men, making men look like shit. Whereas with Boys in the Hood, there's an actual story that is compelling in and of itself. It's playing out. Actors are phenomenal. It's a good movie with a message, not a fucking message behind a movie. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I mean, and I think you're right. I think a lot of like the noise and shit that we hear is like men who are kind of like tired of hearing about shit that doesn't relate to them or make them look like they're pieces of shit, are like complaining about the stuff that's happening. Like, yo, why the fuck? Like, but we do it all the time. Like, we have so many movies where women look like dickheads. Yo, like they're prostitutes. We do this shit all the time. So, like, I think if anything, it's just evening out now, and women are getting their shot.
But I think that's exactly what I'm saying. It's evening out, and the people that are on the other side of this evening don't have the patience to just deal.
Oh yeah, for sure, they're women.
White people too. It's like now that we're making movies about y'all being fucking weird.
Yeah.
Not all white people.
No, we heard you. You said all white people.
not all white people.
I'll cut the not part out.
Wow. It's a good thing I'm not a full-fledged employee of the Mancave podcast. But yeah, it's one of those things where I kind of feel like sometimes we just need to sit back and like really look at it all and just let them have it. If I'm the man that y'all want me to be, then this shouldn't affect me. I should just be going with the flow.
So your definition of the man is stoic, you know, kind of like
that's what everyone's definition of a man is.
That's the problem. Glenn thinks that men are just these linear. Just
no, I don't.
One trick pony.
I don't. See, that's the thing. I don't. I think that we should be able to express our emotions, but the same men that are saying, "Oh, men should be stoic and they shouldn't really give a fuck about all this." These are the same people that are complaining.
Crying.
Yeah, and that's my problem. Like, there's a huge dissonance where it's like, you don't want to accept that sometimes we are fucking trash. Like, men are trash, but we're also the shit. So, like...
Because we're human.
Facts.
Like, women aren't fucking perfect. And like, I think, like what George said, like, on the Marvel episode, is, like, let these things play out. She-Hulk was ranked like one of the worst fucking TV shows by like for Marvel standards. And so it's kind of like, do we really have to go online? I'm saying we, like, as like the men who are complaining about shit. Not saying anybody at this table other than Glenn is complaining. But like, do you really have to go online and leave a bad review because
review bomb like
this shit?
Does that not make you feel weak?
If it's trash, it won't sell.
Yeah.
Nobody will go see it.
Like, how much of it is actually bad? This is the thing that I was saying before. How much of it is actually bad writing versus how much of it is actually a character that's being portrayed kind of almost how they always have been. Like, I just watched all the Alien movies again. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the gentleman named The Critical Drinker. It's a good channel.
The Critical Drinker?
Yeah, so he reviews movies. So his thing is, the woke message, yeah. So that's kind of his thing. And he reviewed, I think it was Prey. It was either Prey. I saw Prey, and I think he did Alien. What was the most recent Alien movie? It was after Prometheus, Alien, Covenant. Yeah. And he was making it seem like she's this, like, being a strong female character is a bad thing when it's like, nigga, we had Ridley for 4 movies.
That's who she's been.
Ripley
made the movie.
Yeah.
Which now that I think about it, maybe did he make a movie with a girl, but with pretty much his name?
Yeah, he just flipped the...
Ridley made a movie about Ripley.
That's funny as shit. Yeah, so it's just one of those things where it's like, sometimes I feel like, all right, cool, manly men shit. Why are we bitching?
I don't know. But I think George disagrees with you. So I'm going to let him handle you.
In what way? I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I had kind of a rebuttal with the like when a movie or a show takes
rebut
I already did.
Oh.
I'm just, I'm.
No, press play on that.
But yeah, I said what I said. I just think that it depends on how the movie or the show is handled and how it ends.
Yeah.
Like, if you take the time for each character, then that's, you put the effort in. But if you're like, no, this character is going to be a shit character because I believe this, I'm going to generalize every type of person in this area and make them look like that because that's how I see them. You know what I mean? So I'm going to make a movie about how good this person is, and this type over here is never a good person. And then that's when I have my problems.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So I think I might have asked this on that episode, but I'm not sure. Y'all go check that episode out. But what would you rather have? Would you rather have Tony Stark, pompous, dickhead, but he has charisma, but he's treating everybody like shit. Everybody like they're second class, like they don't know anything better than he does. He has to get humbled in a fucking cave for him to really learn anything. He's the cause for half the shit that happens in the MCU that's bad. And he's the most lovable character in the franchise.
Well, his character development is insane. One.
Is it?
Yes.
I agree with
By
that.
the end, he's still the same dickhead.
In what way?
I mean, he's still
This
at his
nigga
core.
created time travel in a day.
That makes him a
nothing.
dickhead?
He never. Well, yeah. It makes. Well, one, it's stupid, but two, it's like he never apologized to Cat. That was his fault. He caused the whole shit to happen in Avengers 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was his fault, which led to Civil War.
No, that Civil War's Iron Man's issue with Captain Rogers was completely separate from the Sokovia Accords. It was they bombed his fucking dad and mom in a fucking car.
Well, I mean that was a secondary thing. He didn't know that Captain America was friends with him at first. That was at the end.
I think if you asked, that was the primary issue why they fought.
Well, I think
In the end.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
But in the middle, in the interstitial parts of it, they're fighting because they're at odds over should I give my information up? My information protects me and my family. So it's like he's on the side where I just need to give all that shit up. Nigga, you already gave your shit up. You gave your shit up in your very first movie. What makes you think that you can get to make all these decisions for a mistake you made?
So I think we're kind of getting sidetracked a little bit.
That was my fault.
No.
wanted to
It
make
was
them
just
look
like
bad.
because we're comparing it, right? And you brought up Tony Stark because he's pretentious, right? He's arrogant, and you said he was still lovable,
Right.
right?
But versus Captain Marvel, powerful, just as cocky, a bitch. She just doesn't have charisma. Well, I guess to most people. And she's the most hated character in the franchise.
Well, she has swag, I think.
She does.
I think
And
she
I
does.
enjoy her as an actor. But they castigate. They castigate her like she's some like she's a woman hater, or I'm not a woman hater, a man hater, and that's not the case. And
How did you get that? I'm sorry. How did you get that she's a
Why?
man hater? Because I didn't get that from
like
watching
a
the
man?
movies.
I didn't get it either. That's the thing. So
I think what people were saying, they were bringing too much of what she was saying. She was talking a lot
as an actress.
as an
Yeah,
actress,
yeah.
and they were
Like Brie
bringing
Larson
that into her
herself.
character, into the movie,
Okay.
because she was talking about, oh, this is an all-female cast. We don't want men working here because this is Captain Marvel. So like the people that were making the food or the lights or whatever, she was like, we're making sure that it's only women here because this is a women, like a movie for women.
So because the fans online hated
Hated
Brie
that
Larson,
they
trash Captain Marvel.
brought it
Oh,
into the film. Yeah.
which is just like, all right, it's one woman saying one thing goofy, or a bunch of things that are goofy, right? And y'all review bomb, y'all literally went out of your way to make sure that movie, it still made $1 billion.
So, but see, here's where I'll push back. Fucking, y'all watch Game of Thrones.
Unfortunately,
Joffrey Baratheon, the actor, was getting death threats based on how fucking good of an actor he was.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because they hated his character. So why is it working reverse for men?
explain that.
So why is it that Game of Thrones got tons of glowing reviews with one of the worst fucking characters we've ever had on TV?
Yeah.
And Brie Larson they're shitting on the movie Captain Marvel because of who she is as a person. If they're able to separate the two for Game of Thrones, why aren't they able to do the same thing for Captain Marvel?
I don't particularly know, to be honest with you. Like, I don't even know if those are if those can really be the same fans. Like, by the time I got to season 4, I was kind of done. To be honest with you, by the time I got to season 4, I was kind of done.
Yeah,
y'all suffered an additional 4 seasons?
Was it? I thought it was 6.
No, there was, I think,
It was
8
8
seasons.
Because it was total of 8, yeah. So y'all suffered an additional 4 seasons, and every female character was written to dog shit.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
I had asked you, I don't know if you did, but to watch the Purge movies.
Yeah.
Right. Because when you hit me up about making this episode, you were asking what other movies kind of fell victim to the woke idea, right? The wokeism, as you said it. And I was like, oh, the third movie of Purge was just called The First Purge. Because man, oh man, that movie was they tried to do something with that movie. And
they
it was
made it.
well,
Yeah, they made it.
and it was like heavy race baiting, low key. It was I was like, Jesus, and it was nothing like the second one. The first one's right. They created a decent idea. The second one, I think, did a better job at showcasing a lot of what happens at that night. And then the third one was like, let's say black people are the victim
Of the very first Purge.
Yeah, I was like, it ruined it so much.
Okay, fair. But if they were going to do something like that, where would they start? Wouldn't be Upper Manhattan or Center City, Philadelphia. Let's be honest. And I watched that movie and I was like, okay, I see some bullshit here, but I'm having a hard time getting the full wokeism vibe from that movie. It was a terrible movie. It was I think because there was only one actor in it who was actually good, which is the guy who played the main character, who is a glorified drug dealer by the end of it. It was fucking weird. But for the most part, like, I thought it made sense. Like, if they were going to start it, they'd start it in the hood where nobody gives a fuck about these people.
I don't know. It just seemed heavy race bait.
It was, for sure.
And then the idea that was like, oh, these guys aren't killing each other enough. Let's send in a bunch of white people, like Nazi type white people,
KKK
to kill
hoods,
these black people.
Yeah.
And then there was a whole scene that was quick but intentional of all the white guys dressed as cops, like beating on the black guy. All right.
Yeah.
I was like, this is all very intentional. Okay. And it was like weird turn from the first and second movie. Right? It was like, dude, like, this is a Purge movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now you're forcing this idea of black people always the victim, even in this situation, and white people are always the bad guy.
Yeah.
And that was my issue.
Yeah, no, actually, when you put it like that, that's actually a great point, because if I look at it in comparison to the other ones that I've watched, it feels like something entirely different.
Right.
Like, it feels like a fucking World War Z versus white people. Like,
White people in general.
yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it was wild.
And that was funny. It was funny when you asked that, because that was the very first movie that literally clicked in my head. Because I remember going to the theater to watch it, because I liked the second one. You said you didn't like the second one, and I would love to hear why, but I liked the second one. And when I went to go see the third one, I was like, fuck, they ruined this. I was like, it's okay to sprinkle some stuff in it, right? Like in the first or in the second one, they did sprinkle some stuff in it, right? Like the idea that the government is sending teams into certain areas to kill people, like to kill the poor, right? To keep those numbers down, right? But that wasn't the whole movie,
right?
That was a sprinkled ideal on there that I thought was done well, right? And it wasn't just, hey, let's kill black people. It's let's kill the poor, and the poor was showcased by a different race of people, right? And then you go to the third one, it's like, well, let's kill black people, and I was like, yikes.
That's funny.
So that's why I was like, yeah, this movie got hit hard with that whole like woke idea.
Yeah.
And then it just can't even be compared to the second one that came prior. It's like,
that's valid. I have nothing for that. That's actually a great point, George. I didn't even think about it like that because when I was watching it, well, I think part of the problem is that I know so much about everything, but specifically,
I'm such a smart guy.
but specifically government involvement with black people. So when I see shit like that, I'm like, okay, they're drawing from this, or they're drawing from okay, in Philadelphia, we had the move bombing where the city of Philadelphia's police department dropped bombs from helicopters on a section of West Philadelphia. And then we had the Tuskegee experiment where they were literally injecting people with fucking syphilis or chlamydia or something and seeing how it played out, but it was only for black people. So, and they were telling them there was like a different kind of medical experiment. So I'm thinking of all that. Okay, what?
Tuskegee experiment. They already had syphilis, but they were telling them that they were curing them and they weren't. They were just watching them die.
Thank you
for
the correction. Encyclopedia Glenn. So we gotta have him one.
Glenn.com.
Glenn.com. That's funny as shit. But no, so like when I guess maybe that's the whole point, is to trigger something in people who can relate to these movies and hopes that they'll come out in droves just to support the movie, right? Like, because I think black people make up the biggest group of people in the country in terms of like supporting the economy. Like people who are the biggest group of consumers are black people.
I'm looking at you for facts.
Well, he can look that one up. That's valid.
He just has to think about it for 30 seconds.
But they know who the fuck is going to go out and spend their money on dumb shit. So they're like, okay, these are the people we target. Like now you look at fucking Gucci stores, even though black people have the lowest fucking household income. Why is the Gucci store full of black people during the pandemic? Oh, because we gave them stimulus checks and we know that this is where they're going to fucking spend their money. Like it's like you said, it's race baiting, but it's working both ways. It's making white people look at it like, oh, this is fucking trash. But it's like looking at black people, yeah, man, this is some good shit. This reminds me of blah blah blah.
So that's how you watched both of those movies, especially the third one. You were like, all right, this is some pretty dope shit.
No,
I thought that perspective.
From that, I was like, okay, I get it. Like, it makes sense. But I thought the movie was fucking horrible. I thought the acting was terrible from start to finish. My man's got shot and then dove on the floor. Like, how the fuck he go from a drug dealer to a CIA trained fucking what?
Bro, I have no idea.
Oh, and then they even the psycho. Skeletor.
Oh my god.
Who for like 3/4 of the movie is like the bad guy, right? But in the end had his saving grace because he ended up killing a bunch of Nazi guys and going out doing it. And I was like, they can't even have a maniac black guy be a bad black guy. Like that's the way that they finished this movie. It's like he's still a good guy.
Well, see, and the way I saw it was, all right, you unleashed an animal that you couldn't control, and essentially that's what happens. Kind of like with the MK Ultra shit, right? That I'm sure you look like the kind of dude who reads that type of shit. So he's online all night.
How do you extrapolate that?
But no, like it was some shit that I took and I was like, okay, this makes sense. But yeah, I can see your point. Like you're not wrong.
Another movie that was kind of like that was fucking Candyman.
Oh.
Which one?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting this more. Yeah, the
one that came out a couple years ago.
I didn't even watch that shit.
So I had picked up on it very quickly. I don't know if you did.
Also with my child's mother, Tiana Paris.
Yeah. But did you pick up on that while you were watching it?
You brought it to my attention, and I couldn't look at the movie anymore.
Yeah, it's weird how quickly I notice things like that when there's like, I'm like, they're doing something here, right? So Candyman. The original Candyman, my man had no qualms with anybody. Like he'll kill anybody, right? Yeah. Anybody can do it.
Oh, let me guess, he wasn't killing black people.
No, he only killed white people in this movie. He only killed white people in this movie.
Oh my God.
There was a scene where it was like 3 white girls and an Asian woman, Asian girl in like a high school. They was like, "Ooh, let's do the Candyman thing."
Right.
The Asian girl was like, "Nah, I'm not doing it." Runs out. And then the 3 white girls get killed.
That's funny.
But there was, and then in the end, he kills a bunch of cops, and they're all white cops. And I was like, he only killed white people this entire movie. Not anybody, and no one else that was of color or any other race was killed.
That's funny.
Because they shut down the projects. In Chicago, they shut down.
Because of gentrification, they killed only white people.
I think, yeah. They were going to shut down Cabrini Green.
And that's when it's like, dude, just make a fucking movie. You had the source material of the first one that worked. Yeah. why can't you just fucking take what work and work and just build on it? Now you're taking your ideas, like you said, a message behind the movie. I really like that. And you're forcing that. And I'm like, that removes me from the movie. I'm never going to recommend somebody watch this movie. If you want to watch a Candyman, watch the OG, John.
Right.
Facts.
Like, I'm never going to tell somebody to watch this.
Yeah, that's valid.
They had the original Buddy in it, but as CG,
Mm-hmm.
like they couldn't even afford him. It was like, I'm not even going to do this joint. This joint trash.
And then there was there's a clip that I want to show you guys. Have you guys heard about the new Snow White that's coming out?
I've heard bits and pieces, but nothing in great detail.
All right. So yeah, there's the new Snow White that's coming out. There's no way. So you know the story of Snow White.
Barely.
So it's I think a big portion of it was her kind of standing up against the evil queen or her stepmom or
Somebody
something like
put her
that.
to sleep, right?
And yeah, so she ate an apple from an evil witch that put her to sleep, and first love, love's real kiss or something like that.
True love's
First kiss wakes her up, right? And then she goes back and she confronts the stepmom or the queen, and basically becomes strong enough to do it, right? She's like, I'm gonna confront this evil person and kind of overtake that, right? So that's pretty much the premise of Snow White. Never mind the fact that I think it was one of the first ever Disney princess full film, right? Like animated film. So there's a lot behind it. But the new one is this is only a brief interview that I have. Quick clip. But it's like they're already trying to undo so much of that.
So they're spinning Snow White now.
Yeah,
wild.
she's Hispanic, right?
Ain't nobody safe.
So it's a Hispanic Snow White.
They made Snow White Hispanic?
Got
y'all gonna get it.
And then it's
Yeah, it's y'all turn
I'm
now.
telling.
Halle Berry had it before.
the dwarfs are like a multiracial, multigender people.
Nah, they
So
should have
there's-
been Mexican.
It was a bunch of hilarious.
So if we gonna do it, let's do it.
facts,
don't y'all can't just shit on black people making us
Who
eat
the fuck is y'all?
making us eat fried chicken and they clone Tyrone and
There's a commercial.
of course you need to get YouTube.
I was about to
Premium.
say,
Who the fuck pays for
Peasant.
that?
Broke ass.
I do.
That ass?
I don't pay for that shit.
It comes with YouTube Music, so
Why the fuck do you have YouTube Music?
because, bro, I get the.
You're a serial killer on the low.
Increase? Or maybe, can you guys hear it well?
Yeah.
All right.
You asked me to lower it. Now you asked me to increase it. Make up your mind.
So this is the interview. They had, I think, just released the trailer. So I'll just...
Super enjoyed every second of it.
That's my
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
Not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
So
Launching my campaign.
that clip is being shared everywhere because it's basically just like, oh no, Snow White don't need no man, right?
Right.
And it's just like,
But isn't that the whole story?
yeah, it's like it's a love story, right? And now you're removing the love aspect from it. But there's so much more to the movie. I mean, it's not just the fact that she gets saved by the kiss,
Right.
but everything else that I had spoken about already, right? But they're fucking focusing heavy duty on this one thing, as if that's the flaw of the movie, is that, oh, she gets put to sleep and this guy has to come kiss her to wake her
Yeah,
up.
it's not even about the evil witch anymore.
Yeah, and they're just like, well, let's take that part out because that's the worst part of the movie to them. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, this is going to be a good thing for girls to see, da 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 da. And it's like, it's almost as if they're making women. Now, this is a man's perspective, obviously, but it's almost as if a woman wants to be a stay-at-home mom, if a woman wants to raise their kids and doesn't want to go to work, then they are being shamed into thinking that that's the wrong way of being a woman. Like, you should be out, you should be working, you shouldn't be getting taken care of, you shouldn't be at home raising your kids. The real thing is you need to be out there and about. And it's like the idea of, no, if a woman wants to stay at home and take care of her kids, then she can. That's okay. And it's a weird, like, the way that I'm seeing is they're kind of guilt tripping women to being like, don't fall for a guy.
Yeah, it's actually a very interesting war that's happening with like women right now. Like aside from the the trans issues that we talked about last week or the week prior to actually, the whole idea of whether women are supposed to work or not work. Like, it's like they're trying to box themselves in while simultaneously be just whatever they want. Like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, if you want to get up and go to work, why don't you do that? Why do you think it's a big fucking deal for a woman to be a stay-at-home? And then there's this thing, you ever heard pick me?
Yeah.
So women will call other women pick me's if they say something that might like be in line with something that another man said. So I was like,
Okay.
oh, yeah. So I was like, oh, you're a pick me because you're echoing the sentiments of a man and you're hoping that they'll notice you. And it's just a very interesting kind of situation over there.
Yeah. Hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah, I think it's bizarre for them to focus on like literally maybe 10 minutes of the movie.
At the most.
That's right, because the guy's not even in
No.
the whole thing,
No,
right?
no.
And in most of the first like 3-4 like princess movies, like the gentleman shows up at the very end.
So who wakes her up?
The gentleman does. He kisses her and she wakes up.
No. In this new one.
I don't know. I guess she's gonna fucking
Maybe
kiss
a
herself.
dwarf. Yeah, maybe Gal Gadot kisses her.
Oh, and then Snow White is gay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
got
probably
it.
where they're fucking taking it.
I get it. So
She don't need no man.
The
She-
witch puts her to sleep, fingers her, and then they fall in love.
I think she was like 15 though.
I mean, do they care?
This is
Well,
Disney.
this
We're
is
talking.
Disney, so they probably
Yeah.
don't.
Do they?
They pretend like they do, but they definitely don't. See, I don't know. Yeah, see, this is one of the things that I definitely do have a problem with because it's like you're just removing dumb shit. Like, if you're doing it to make a statement,
When a statement doesn't need to be made.
yeah, like
What's the fucking problem?
Yeah, I
see
don't.
the
I don't see
problem.
what the problem is. Like, trying to modernize these movies hasn't worked. The last time modernizing some of these movies has worked was Brandy's Cinderella.
Actually, I enjoyed that though.
That was fantastic. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I
Like, that was
enjoyed that.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, Brandy's Cinderella was absolutely
I
amazing.
enjoyed that.
So it's like, anytime they kind of do anything like that, like in that particular realm, it especially live action
Yeah.
is lame.
Yeah.
Like it.
Notice
It
George
just doesn't
didn't.
translate.
Notice George didn't like the Cinderella.
Do you not like Brandy?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Don't be. Yo,
You about to trigger my man.
You was playing that bum ass clip. You gonna have to play Full Moon. Like, you gonna have to play the whole discography. Brandy is that fucking woman, yo.
Yeah, I believe you.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yo, Brandy is fucking slept. But yeah, so it's like it's one of those situations where I mean, movie isn't out yet. It could be good. It probably won't be. I can't even think of the last. I don't know why they keep doing live action.
Well, the last one I think was Little Mermaid, as far
Yeah.
as a Disney
Oh,
live action
National
remake.
outrage.
I have no idea. I don't know why people care, but it is what it is.
Which I didn't see them doing the same thing to Little Mermaid as they did to this Snow White thing. All they did was make the character black.
Yeah, that was the one thing. Yeah, it's not like they altered the story to
Right.
be like, well, she's not coming out of the water to fall in love with a man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is like,
They
well, then
stayed
you're telling
true.
a different story. Don't call
Yeah.
it Snow White. Don't call it Little Mermaid if you're just gonna change it.
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly, that's kind of always kind of been my problem with like gender bending or like race bending certain things. It's just like you may as well just make a new thing. Like Michael B. Jordan being being the Human Torch is easily the most confusing thing ever because he had a white sister. It's like, what the fuck is happening here?
Michael B. Jordan. Who was his sister in the movie?
I don't
Her
remember
name.
her name.
Well, she was a white woman.
She
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a white woman, yeah.
So
dad was black.
I'm about to say you can't.
So you just had to make up this whole random story like they're adopted.
Complicating.
Yeah, like what the fuck was the point of that? Or like in Fantastic Four. No, granted, I like. Wow, I forget her name.
That's because you're not a real movie watcher.
That's
like
crazy.
George
Who's
could
the
name
woman
her.
in Scandal? The main woman in Scandal.
Wow, you don't even, and she's black. You don't even know her name. Wow.
I know her last name.
I'm gonna let
Washington.
It's Washington.
No,
Yeah,
don't
but
tell
like,
him, don't tell him, don't
it begins with a K. I know that, but yeah, like I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, why? Like, she has 3 minutes in the movie.
I'm judging you, just so you know,
Why?
because you don't know her name.
I know her name. It's just
She was in Django as well.
You know every fucking word in encyclopedia, but you don't know this woman, and she's beautiful. What a
She
shame.
is gorgeous. Yeah.
she's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, no pun intended. Okay, we got you.
Oh wow, yeah. That's number 2 for you.
Nah, I don't know, man. I think making a character that's fictional black, I don't see a problem with that. Unless in this situation with the Fantastic Four thing, where now you got to create a whole new storyline for their backstory. He's black and has a white fucking sister, but the dad's black. And it's like, all right,
It's
the
fucking
sister's not
bizarre.
really black then. I mean, it's not white. But when it works, it's fine. And also, there's a ton of black shit that could get more, I guess, exposure. Like, why don't we have a Static Shock movie yet?
Do you think? See, Static Shock is going to be one of those things where
They're gonna
We're
make them
gonna-
white.
bro. See,
That
but
shit
that's-
would set niggas off.
That's why I don't
That
understand
would
why
set
we do
niggas
it the
off.
other way. Like, imagine if they made fucking Black Lightning white.
Well, I think why is because
Black Panther is fucking Keanu Reeves.
I'd watch that movie.
I would watch that shit too. I ain't gonna hold you.
What the fuck? Like,
Well, I mean, they had
Matt Damon.
what was
That'd be crazy. Matt Damon is.
nah? If somebody was gonna play,
my man.
if somebody was gonna play Black Panther and it's a white person, it would have to be Leo. I wouldn't
knew you were
accept
gonna say that,
anybody else.
honestly. Yeah,
He's easily
Yeah.
top. He could play every fucking character in Marvel, and I would watch it.
That's pretty
Like
much
an Eddie
true.
Murphy type thing, but it's Leo.
That's true as shit. Yeah, that's true as shit.
Nah, but I think my issue with this whole shit, Glenn made me forget what I was gonna say. So fuck you. But nah, it's cool. Like I think
Look
I
at
think
him trying to
people.
fucking-
No, I got it. I got it. People are tired of just having one type of person, one type of representation on like film and media, and that shit. Whether people like to admit it or not, it plays a big role in how we see the world. Media controls the narrative. Like what we see on TV, controls what we talk about and influences our decisions from fashion to medicine, whatever the fuck you want to talk about. So having black people and, everybody else represented, even Puerto Ricans, it's
Those
important.
low life Puerto Ricans. The worst kind of Mexicans.
The worst kind of
Jesus.
the worst kind of cans there are.
The worst kind of cans. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Nah, it's important. So I think that's why people push for black people to be certain characters. Now I'm waiting for two things to happen. One, they're gonna make Superman black. That's going.
They said it was going to be Michael B. Jordan.
That's gonna be Civil War.
Yeah.
And then whenever we get a second black president, that'll set the cherry on.
You know
top.
what I think is going to happen? We're going to get a black president that's Republican.
Oh,
No, that's gonna.
that would fuck everybody up.
Yeah. It'll
'Cause
be
They're
self-destruction.
gonna be looking at niggas like, now what?
Yeah. I think
And which
that's-
side y'all on now?
Yeah. I feel like that's going to be the next thing that happens. And I'm kind of scared. That's probably going to be like in the next.
It would be someone like
elections.
Clarence Thomas or Thompson, whatever the fuck his last name is.
The
Supreme Court justice. Yeah.
I don't know where I stand on that guy, to be honest.
Maybe you should look into him a little bit more.
I mean, I feel like he just does shit that everybody else does, and because everyone else does it, and because he's a black, I don't know. Like, I don't get mad at the black Republican shit. It's just, I just hate when you tell me, like, when you try to recruit me to the black Republican shit. Oh, Republicans used to be the party for the black. I hate when people do that shit. To me.
Like they doing something.
Yeah,
I'm about
like-
to fuck his brain up.
Yeah, I been knew that nigga, but you talking about 18 such and such.
But you know why he's there. It's the whole reason why we're talking about any of this shit today. It's the woke shit. Like they're trying to have somebody who's essentially a champion for black people and representation in government, and he's the polar opposite of what black people supposedly are in the political space. I think like 90% of black people in this country vote Democrat. And yet this motherfucker is super conservative. Like he would probably sell niggas up the river if he could get a box of that chicken off of Tyrone's movie. Like he just does not give a fuck. Speaking of government shit, bruh, have y'all and maybe this is some kind of somehow connected to what we talked about already. The alien shit. Have y'all been looking at that?
I have not even touched it because I'm not ready to be lied to.
How real is this shit? Because like for years, no, for the past like 2-3 years that people have been leaking information. It's been reputable niggas that I've been following for years. So if they just now started selling out for aliens, that's nuts.
You know what's crazy is the aliens are going to show up and they're going to get like citizenship before like Mexican people.
You know what's different though? Like
that would be fire. Actually,
Like,
we got the first United States alien, American alien.
yeah.
That would be crazy.
You know what's weird about that? Like America just signed a deal with Mexico. Like we're partners now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's because you haven't. Wow, I said you.
Yeah,
Holy
it's
shit.
Wow.
Doesn't, you know, now I know how he sees me.
Apparently, I'm not drinking enough.
Yeah, I'm gone. I'm gone ski. But like apparently
No, keep
those
with it.
people those individuals
I didn't know you was Mexican.
that's
I didn't know
crazy.
either. So right now,
Hey. I had suspicions, you feel me?
Holy shit.
But yeah, like they mining operations, cobalt, like we don't have to mine from like Africa anymore. So yeah.
yeah. Who wants to do that?
That's a win for us.
Actually, yeah.
Who's us?
You know who.
Well,
Not
actually,
you
yeah,
one.
who's us? Yeah. Because
Us, me and you.
we're not going to get that. No, it's not going to be me and you. It's the Chinese and the Russians that are going to get that.
Why?
Because they're the
China
ones that are
is like-
funding the civil wars there.
Okay, that's true. Actually,
Yeah.
Good, Glenn.
Yeah.
Good job. You see how you got humble this fucking
I didn't
idiot
get
over here?
I didn't get humbled first of all. 'Cause
Put him in his fucking place.
if this
I
was
mean,
a battle,
sit
I mean,
down.
if you want to eventually be on a potential winning side, we can go. Like,
Nah, listen, if this was a battle of wits, you'd be unarmed. So you don't want to.
I'm talking about our
Oh,
survival. You're
oh,
talking about
oh, I thought we was making it personal.
shit. I thought you was on my side.
bad,
I was
Mexican.
feeling it.
This is going off the wall.
Shit. So Snow White
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
we're talking about aliens.
or
Yeah.
aliens.
Yeah, no, but even in that, like it's all the same shit. It's more like government involvement, and people are just tired of being lied to. Basically, like people are tired of believing one thing or hearing one thing, and it's something totally different.
Do y'all believe in aliens?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I
Do you believe in them more or less after the congressional hearing?
more because every time I see the government do something, I know that there's something else happening. So they're like, oh, we're going to tell you what we know, or we're going to start declassifying, which means they'll never declassify it because they don't really know shit. I don't think the government knows shit about.
See, that's where I'm at with it. Like, if you knew something, I don't understand the point of hiding it. Like, well, especially today's people
Technology.
where we don't have an attention span for shit. Like, everything that we just talked about, everybody's going to forget tomorrow.
It's technology though.
True, but if like we were to listen to the good buddy who was on the Joe Rogan podcast, Bob Lasky, I think his name was
Lazar.
Lazar.
Yeah.
See,
No.
okay,
Yeah, don't ever. This guy's a fucking
sabotage the whole shit.
deleted all
Oh,
our shit.
fuck your whole
Petty
shit up.
ass. God damn. We know who
never
he
leave
is.
the dat.
We know who he is.
Yo, you never don't
He
that.
was like, yeah, Glenn came on the show, called me Mexican, and then fucking destroyed all of our equipment.
Hey man, hey, it had to be done. Remember, Remember, y'all said y'all was docking my pay earlier in the episode.
Yo, that's funny as shit.
But you were saying Bob Lazar?
Bob Lazar, not Bob Lasky. It's probably like some executive that was on Epstein's Island or some shit like that. No idea.
Crazy.
But
Crazy. Straight bullets.
But like, he's saying he's working on fucking engines and like propulsion systems and shit like that. And it's like, how are you reverse engineering? Like, just imagine cavemen reverse engineering the iPhone. Like, how are you doing that? Like, I don't understand.
Well, I think it's easy because, like, it's like if George and I, if we got a new camera and you stuck us in this fucking room for a week, we'd figure everything out. But that's simple, right? It's a fucking camera. We're familiar with that. But these are the most like intelligent people in the fucking world working on this shit. Off-site, no distractions. Their fucking family's probably somewhere separate from wherever they're at, and they're just locked in for years. Like, eventually, you're gonna figure some shit out.
Yeah,
I would imagine, but I don't know. I don't know. This whole shit is just kind of crazy, actually, when I think about it. Like, if aliens are real, what the fuck does that mean for everything else? Like, do we even go to work from now on? Like,
I mean,
how would we continue our life? Like, aliens are real. I still got to clock in.
I mean, yeah.
I still got to go to work.
For what? Because what? I mean, but why not? What the fuck makes you want to stop working?
Wouldn't life change drastically if they just showed up?
So America says aliens are real, and what? They just attack?
Maybe they give me money. I don't
That's where the stimulus checks are coming from.
that's what I'm thinking.
The fucking
Like,
aliens
if they
gave me
can
the
travel
stimmy.
dimensions or universes, bruh, they could end world poverty in an hour.
But that's what makes me think they never got caught. Like, if niggas got fucking... Like, if you think about where the fuck we are, we're in the middle of, like, a big-ass void. Like, where the next major system is so dumbass far away that I don't even know how somebody would really even find us.
You think that the aliens know about every time that, like, a person has shared a video of their, like...
They watching it.
They're like, how the fuck you get caught? We told you to use your fucking invisible shield.
Fucking stealth
You got this
shield.
fucking guy with the iPhone 8 recording you.
Nah, so actually,
Which is our technology.
right. Bruh, to that point, I fuck what I was about to say. First of all, people are so fucking stupid, bruh. When I think about all the, like, amazing shit human beings created or invented, bridges. First of all, that blows my fucking mind. How the fuck did human beings create bridges to take us across oceans? I don't get it. I don't know anybody that's smart enough. We online arguing about whether or not Wendy's should bring spicy nuggets back.
That's a great argument, though.
And they should.
That's an excellent argument. I'll take
I'll
that
rest
over
my
fucking
case.
bridges.
Rest my
I'll
fucking
take that
case.
over bridges any day.
I'll
Fuck
rest-
bridges,
I'll
my
rest
nigga.
my case.
Bring spicy nuggets back, bitch.
I'll rest my fucking case. We still don't even know how the fucking pyramids were built, but we're so smart. No, okay.
Yeah,
No,
he's
no,
trying
no,
to figure
no,
it
no,
out
no,
now.
no,
He hasn't
no,
really
no,
thought
no,
about
no,
pyramids
no.
ever. Now he's like,
Right.
wait, how does...
Ever.
All right, so to end the video, I told Larry that there's this a guilty pleasure of mine on TikTok is listening to Cartman AI
Oh my
sing
God.
songs.
I can't wait to hear this shit.
And I'm like, why is he actually killing it, bro?
This is probably the funniest shit ever.
I'm like, I would listen to AI Cartman cover like a whole album.
It's better than Wale.
Nah, I want them to bring that AI Drake back. That shit was fire.
Yeah, it
That
did
shit
its
was on
thing. It
TikTok.
did its thing.
You a hater. I can tell you don't like Drake.
There's nothing up here, and I doubt that
Wow.
my heart will.
Let me see what you're seeing, though.
It's just the, and then like
Okay.
the lyrics.
We'll stay forever.
He's killing that shit, though. Wow.
The fucking you can feel the emotion in his voice.
Bro, it's over for human beings. Wow.
put that nigga on Human Nature real quick.
Wow.
Bro, I could have.
What else has he sang on
There's
TikTok?
a Zombie. I don't know if you ever actually heard that song, but
But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they're fighting.
he still has like the
With
Irish
their
accent.
tanks and their bombs, and their bombs.
Sound like Ed
and
Sheeran.
their bombs. In your head, they are quiet. In your head,
I was like, I ain't gonna listen to Carmen cover any song, right? And then there was
And this shit
I wish
acapella.
that you would just leave, 'cause your presence still lingers here. And if we'll leave me alone, these wounds won't seem to heal. This pain is just too real. There's just too much that I cannot be
Yo.
erased. When you cried away, wipe away.
there's Donald Trump too.
First of all, you gotta send me that last one because that shit is fire.
There's the Donald Trump John.
Glenn is in
I got my
disbelief.
red dress on tonight, dancing in the dark.
Oh
in the
my
pale
God.
moonlight. Summer hair with real big beauty queen style, high heels off. I'm sailing alive. Oh my God, I'm sailing in the air, telephone wires above. Oh, sizzling like a snare, honey,
Yo.
I'm sailing everywhere, nothing scares me anymore.
Fucking this shit up.
Kill it, Donald.
Kiss me hard before you go.
Fucking this shit up.
Summertime sadness.
He spelled
I
the
just
pronounced the
wanted
word wrong.
you to know that, baby, you the dog.
I'm gonna listen to some Lana Del Rey when I get in the car.
Dog,
now.
I was like,
yeah.
why is he killing that shit, dog?
Yeah, you need a nigga to come to karaoke next time.
Facts.
There was
He's in
another
the
one.
wrong business. Been in the wrong
AI
business.
is so fucking wild,
Yeah.
bruh.
Yeah, AI is fucking weird, man.
There was a clip that I had seen of fucking Rihanna trying to sell like boxer briefs,
Allen Iverson?
and she was what?
I mean, I get it.
You don't
but-
remember that?
And she was trying hard. Oh, here it is. She tried hard not to get canceled.
Selling boxer briefs.
And he designed some boxer briefs that both men and women and non-binary people of all gender appropriations and the pronouns, everyone is included. I didn't want this to be
She was
boxers are
high.
for men type situation, and then we have to make a female version. And he designed some
She was
boxer
like,
briefs.
wait. Let me add everybody.
And actually about to have to do a whole another 15 minutes to talk about men and females.
She was high as shit.
Bro, I was like, I gotta show this.
Yo,
This
low
fucking
key,
shit.
Glenn is sauced.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
My man, them donuts wasn't helping you.
It's first colors of the day. Man.
Oh man, this was actually a funny ass episode, right? We talked about so much shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we definitely did.
Yeah.
It's a podcast.
Yeah. What's that mean?
Nothing. You want to wrap it up, Glenn?
Yeah.
Give us
home.
a
Take
quick,
us home, Glenn.
just take us home. Take us home.
What are we doing next week?
Take us home. Take us home.
I'm going to sleep.
That was a TJ moment.
For
Real
sure.
shit.
Shouts out to my nigga T.
But quick question, like, would you continue watching like movies like The Third Purge if you can remove yourself from the idea that they're being woke?
I don't know if I enjoy movies that just want to push a message, like we talked about earlier. Like if the movie has a message, I'm fine with it. But like I don't need somebody pitching me something for 2 hours. Like I'm
Yeah,
going
don't
to
preach to me.
unplug. That's what the whole fucking movie theater is. It's supposed to be an experience. It's supposed to be whatever, like entertainment. Like leave that political shit
I
out
agree.
of my fucking movie.
So you didn't like the second one, or you did?
Anarchy.
Because last we talked, you said you didn't like it.
Compared to that the first Purge, that shit was an Oscar winner. But before I watched the first Purge, no, I thought it was fucking awful.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
it was
Yeah,
trash. The first Purge. I thought it was so bad.
Oh yeah, the first Purge was horrible.
The movie,
Anarchy
the first
was
Purge.
good. Oh yeah, the first Purge had an idea that it just wasn't executed properly, but it introduced the idea of the Purge, which is like appreciated. But but all right, we're gonna wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoy the conversation. Stay woke.
Stay woke.
Make sure that you like and subscribe.
Good job, George.
All the way in the end.
You have to put it at the beginning. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel on all platforms for all people of all colors, religions, creed.
For all boxers.
Yeah. And regardless of what size underwear you like. Or if you don't like underwear, you can also like this. If you wear overwear, that's totally up to you.
Overwear. Is that what clothes are?
Yeah, exactly. Overwear is.
Catch you in the next episode of the Mancave podcast.
God damn.